I see you standing here.
A project basically designed to help underprivileged kids who don't have a big dream about their future. Honduras has divided social classes, similar to what a lot of people know as the caste system, but not as stringently divided. And so I've taken the time to look for some kids who are in the lower class and pretty much are destined to be stuck in that class for the rest of their lives, just working for sustenance living, enough just to get their food and hopefully find somewhere to live, usually just a small hut. And I'm trying to help them learn that despite their circumstances, they can rise above and to become somebody in society in a higher class, someone who matters with a future, a dream. Skillet is the girl. She comes from a family who is the upper of the middle class, but still lower class. She has an older sister who's in prostitution, and she herself is just 16 years old and just had a baby. The dad has nothing to do with her anymore and doesn't want to be around the child. But she actually, when I started talking to her, was very excited about the project and said, I don't want to go down the same path as my sister. I don't want to end up in prostitution trying to find a way to support myself and my baby. Her parents were considering kicking her out of the house, which pushes her more towards prostitution. This project though, her parents got excited about it also and said that if she was part of this, they would let her stay home and not have to move out. And so she's still living at home with her baby and everything, and helped their whole family relation a lot. And she now has a better dream than prostitution. She, after talking to me for a while, said that she wants to someday be a doctor possibly. And so just someone believing in her ever so slightly has changed her everything. The next boy is Oscar, and he is actually one of the sons of her sister from her prostitution. He was one of the first ones she had. His responsibility in his house is to basically take care of all the younger siblings that Skillet's sister had throughout her prostitution days. And so he has actually incredibly stayed in school all these years. He's 14 and still goes to school, and he's in the top of his class. He's very driven, he's great at math. He's kind of shy just because he doesn't leave his house much. When he's not at school, he goes straight home from school to take care of his 5 younger siblings, to clean the house, to do a lot of what is considered the woman's work, and because of that, he has a lot of insecurities, because in that society, boys aren't supposed to do that. And so he really had no self-esteem, and through this project, I've seen him a lot develop some self-esteem and dreams. Next is Marco. He's an incredible kid. He is 12 years old and has been through some really tough times. His mother is into witchcraft, and after she had him, basically just left him and said, go find your own place. And he hardly knows her. He doesn't know his dad. He moved in with his grandparents. His grandpa is actually an alcoholic who is abusive. He lives in a small home with about over 20 people in and out, depending on who's there at the time. He shares a bedroom that's smaller than this room. It's 6 feet by 5 feet, with his younger sister, who is the only other person living in that house that's from the same mom. And so he is really close to her. He's just a very sweet kid who, again, had no future. His grandma made him go get a job. He's been trying not to drop out of school, but he planned on dropping out this year. And once I talked to him, he decided he would stay in school. But he has to bring home a minimum payment to his grandma if he doesn't want to be kicked out into the street. And so this project gives him a way to be able to work his own hours and stay in school.
Because you got to me.
When I first started this idea, I had no idea where it was going. I had ideas from an ice cream bicycle to just street selling some food in the marketplace. And as I started, the two, Skillet and Oscar, have a sewing machine in their house, and they both know how to use it. And I thought maybe we could do something with sewing. And about that time, Christian community in Honduras got a phone call from an organization up north that said that they had a couple truckloads of high quality fabric that they'd be willing to just give us. And my dad's like, well, I don't know what we'll do with it. And around that same time, I started thinking, well, we could use that possibly, some of it. And before I left in December, Pastor Israel, the head pastor, got a phone call while I was sitting with him driving to the airport from a friend in one of the cities who tells him that she doesn't know why, but she just found out one of the sewing factories was closing and thought he might be interested in purchasing a couple of the industrial strength sewing machines. And she had no idea about this project, and I hadn't even decided if we were going with the sewing path, and it just, God put it in place. And so now the children, we have Oscar and Scarlett, are using those materials to design new things and making bags and curtains and all sorts of stuff with it. And the other two boys are going to Marketplace on Sunday and selling.
Are getting yourself into
Everything I've seen, they don't show a lot of emotion in Honduras. They try to kind of hide their, especially enthusiasm and excitement. But especially what they say to the mentors that they know. I have Dennis and Linda who work with them, and they show a lot more emotion to people who they're comfortable with. They say that the kids just talk about it all the time. They're telling all their friends about it. And it's Scarlett was more open, and she told me that she really thought it was an answer to prayers. It was a God-given thing, and so they really do have big hopes for it.
I'm getting into you because I've got to be. You're essential to survive. I'm gonna love you with my life. He said, I love you, and that's what you are getting yourself into.